In April 2023, a key road running through Oxford was closed for what was originally supposed to be 12 months, split into two 6-month periods, between April and August 2023, and again between March and October 2024. However, some 20 months after the work started, the road is still closed, and the pause between August and March never took place. The closure of Botley Road was to allow Network Rail to build a new bridge to the south of Oxford railway station. The main reason for the bridge replacement is to allow Network Rail to install an additional track and platform on the western side of the station. However, Network Rail were taking the opportunity to provide additional clearance for vehicles underneath, which would allow a standard double-deck bus to pass underneath the bridge. That wasn't possible beforehand, as the bridge was, or still is, only 4 metres high, whereas a standard double-deck bus in the UK is typically just shy of 5 metres tall. Network Rail also say they are going to improve active travel provision with the inclusion of 4 metre wide combined cycle and footpaths on each side of the road. The replacement of the bridge is part of the wider £161 million Oxfordshire Connect scheme, formerly known as Oxford Corridor Phase 2, which aims to improve both train and passenger capacity at Oxford railway station. This includes track and signalling upgrades which were completed last year. As part of the scheme, a new western bridge span will be constructed for the new track leading to Platform 5. Another new span will be constructed for the existing 4 tracks leading into the station from the south. In addition, as far as I can tell, Network Rail still intends to build a 3rd new span for a potential 6th track in future, which I believe could link to the existing north-facing bay platforms to convert either one or both into through platforms. For now though, the only section of track and platform which has funding is the additional 5th. The additional platform, combined with a new western entrance, will provide capacity for more trains, as well as the expected increase in passenger numbers, which will be generated by East West Rail. The new western entrance, which will connect to the existing platforms with lifts and stairs via a pedestrian underpass, will open out onto the corner of Botley Road and Botley Road. Network Rail anticipates that this new entrance will serve around 20% of the entries and exits to and from the station. The replacement of Botley Road Bridge also includes the replacement of the pedestrian bridge from Beckett Street car park, which I assume is to make way for the 3rd eastern span. Adding new platforms and sections of track to existing stations often poses challenges due to existing buildings and structures. But in the case of Oxford Station, the addition of just one new platform appears to have been even more challenging than expected. Work has so far focused on utility diversions, and Network Rail claims that the main contractor Kia, who is responsible for the project's delivery, have had to work with 11 separate utility companies. There have been other challenges, such as finding a buried arch which supports the existing structure and the discovery of unexploded ordnance. The biggest single challenge, however, appears to have been the decision on where to relocate a large diameter water main that passes under the bridge. It took Thames Water until October last year to excavate trial holes in order to identify a suitable new route for the water main. Further work was then required to design the diversion route, and discussions had to take place about the cost implications, with most or sometimes all of the cost of utility works usually borne by the project sponsor rather than the utility companies. To further complicate matters, Thames Water was in the process of replacing the same section of pipe which runs under Oseney Bridge, which crosses the River Thames 150 metres to the west of Botley Road Bridge. The final plans for the bridge spans were reportedly only agreed with Oxford City Council in April last year, a full 12 months after work had commenced. However, despite the bridge designs now having been agreed, the complications caused by the utility diversions means that Network Rail is currently unable to provide a date for when the bridge replacement will be completed. The impact of the closure isn't just frustrating for residents, businesses and motorists, as it has meant the diversion of bus routes, which one bus company claims has cost them £400,000 so far. And obviously, local residents have now had to live with ongoing roadworks outside their homes for around 20 months, with no end in sight, so their frustrations are perfectly understandable. This isn't so much of a defence, but utility diversions do cause a lot of headaches, and add to the cost of projects, as well as leading to delays, which is a particular issue for new tram extensions, which almost always require large-scale utility diversions before any work to install a track can take place. I feel that I could produce an entire video on the subject, as it is a big issue which can make projects unaffordable. Network Rail had stated previously that before the upgrade, Oxford Station did not have the capacity for the new east-west rail services to Milton Keynes. However, I'm fairly certain this has been solved by the now complete track and signalling upgrades, which include the installation of new high-speed switches to the north of the station, which increase the permissible speed from 25 mph to 75 mph. It is likely that the 2 trains per hour service from Milton Keynes will make use of the north-facing bay platforms, so the services should be unaffected by the delay to Botley Road Bridge, which is located to the south of the station. This does leave questions about the capacity for additional services from Oxford to Bedford, but they have until 2030 until that new hourly service is introduced. Beyond Oxford Phase 2, EWR are exploring options for further enhancements that will be required to support an additional 2 trains per hour to Cambridge, which may see trains extended south to Didcot, or along the reopened branch line to Cowley, which Network Rail is currently looking into. Unfortunately, there's not much I can say that will relieve the frustrations of local residents and businesses, and the only bit of good news I could see was a Thames Water sign saying the installation of the water main will be finished at the end of March. As for work to prepare for the new bridge, there is as yet no update on when this will commence or be completed.